good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon sir. So we're the Group 7 reporter, so I'm the first reporter. So our topic was all about integrative application. So what is integrative application? It means combining different ideas, skills, or functions to work together toward one goal. For example of integrative application, barangay captain is handling a curfew ordinance for minors. He applies automatic leadership when enforcing the law strictly during emergencies, but also uses democratic leadership by consulting parents and youth leaders in planning community programs. At the same time, he integrates management principles like proper documentation, delegation of tasks, TANODs, and monitoring compliance. This shows integrative applications because the barangay captain combines theories and practices to address the real community. So, in short, the integrative application is the uses of two different ideas or skills function to work together. So, the barangay captain uses two special idea skills. He uses autocratic leadership and democratic leadership. Next is connecting leadership. So, connecting leadership is about working with others, not just giving orders. It helps people communicate, share ideas, and support each other to solve problems and achieve goals. So, this kind of leadership believes that success comes not just from authority, but from trust, teamwork, and shared purpose. It connects ideas, people, and resources so that everyone works as one. Example is a school principal practices connecting leadership by bringing together teachers, parents, and students to create a new learning program. She listens to everyone's ideas, combines their suggestions, and encourages teamwork. Because of this, the program succeeds and the school community becomes more united. So we have the key traits of connecting leader. First is good communicator. A leader should be good communicator. A leader should listen and shares information clearly. So this is the very important in a leader. Have a good communicator. Second is team builder. The leader should help people work well together. It is also important in the leader that the leader has a team builder. And the third is empathetic. A leader must understand others' needs and feeling. And fourth, collaborative. A leader values everyone's ideas and input. And five, visionary. A leader must connect people to share the goal or purpose. These five should be the most important in a leader, so that the leader will be effective leaders in his members or subordinate. Decision making. And decision making is choosing the best solution or action after studying in a situation. So it is important in public service to make fair and wise choices for the community. The best example for this is a city council decides to build a new public hospital after analyzing the health needs of the people. So, in decision making, kailangan ko na pinaka best and wise decision para sa community. So that's all, sir.
I'll be the next reporter. So next is management, controlling people and resources to achieve objectives. It turns ideas into real actions. For example, a manager in the Department of Education organizes teachers, schedules, and budgets for a new school year. Next is administration. So administration is all about carrying out the laws, rules, and policies that leaders and managers create. It ensures that everything follows procedures and serves the public properly. Example of this is a barangay secretary processes community permits and records following government rules. So these four aspects interconnected: the leadership, the decision making, management, and administration, means that they work together and influence each other. That is, the leadership sets the vision and direction. The decision making choosing the best course of action, while the management puts the plan into action and oversee its execution. Then the administration handles the operational details and support. That's all.
So, good afternoon everyone. So, I'll be reporting real world case study. So, the real world case study are in-depth analysis of actual events or situations that have occurred in various industries, business, or organizations. So, any real world case study it is just like telling a story, but with a focus of learning a valuable lesson. So, it helps us to understand new things and how to work. Then also it helps us to avoid mistakes in by learning from our past experiences. So we have four purposes of real world case study. First, we have application of knowledge. So the case study will let you to apply your knowledge in different in case study. The next is critical thinking. In case study, you need to think critically in order to understand the situation. Next is exposure to different perspectives. So in case study, we have different perspectives or different sides. So the case will can give you different sides in order for you to understand the situation. Next is practical insight. So in practical insight, there are different in practical insight, so the case study will give you or will show you a lesson on how to work or to separate the right and wrong. The next, we have benefits of using real world case studies. So there are three. First, enhanced learning. So in case studies, so we have the case study will enhance learning. So this study will in reading the case study, so diha di mo makita wherein asa ang good side and bad sides of that problem or for you to solve the possible solution. Next is skill development. So in skill development, so it is the case study means that how to put your solution into action, which improve you to have different skills. Next, number 3, preparation for real world challenges. So the case study will help you to prepare for the different perspective or the different side of the case study. Next, we have how to analyze a real world case study. So first, there are 7. So first, we have read the case. So you need to read the case study. Then next, we have number 2, identify the problem. So in the case study, you need to identify the problem for you to understand. And number 3, analyze the situation. So you need to analyze the situation so that you know what the problem is. Then number 4 is develop alternatives. So in develop alternatives, next is develop alternatives, and number 5 is evaluate options. So in evaluate options, in case study, there are different sides, which is narito, which is the pros and cons. So narito ma-evaluate. Next, we have make a recommendation. So in case study, you need to make a recommendation. Number 7, implementation and evaluate. So then next, so in real world case study, there are 3 sectors. First, we have education sector. First, a scenario. So a school principal strategic implements new standardized testing mandates with administration and handling records and budgets, and department his training teachers. So here's the So in this scenario, so for example, the principal or the principal of the school, so there are new testing rules. So the school principal will decide to put a new place or the standardized test for the students. So there is an administration's rule. So they manage the records. So the admin staff keep track all that test score and other related data. Then next, we have the handle budget. So they also manage the money needed for the test, like buying materials for the scoring or for the katong sa mga band paper nga para sa pag-test. Then the department heads task. So they trains the teachers. So the department of heads, sila ang teach the teachers on how to prepare for the students para sa test ni ilang buhaton. The next, we have business sector. Take company or serious shift to sustainability requires the VIP of operations, the transportation, the supply chain with administrative staff, managing vendors, updates, and contract. So, in business sector, so for example, so the CEO decision. So, in the Go Green, when you say Go Green, so the CEO of the Take company will watch the company to be more environmentally friendly. So the VIP of the operations job will change the supply chain. So the VIP operation needs to find new and more sustainable supplier for them to a better company. Next, then the administrative staff will help to manage and update the contract. So the admin of the staff will update the list of supplier and handle the legal agreements with the new CEO-friendly suppliers. So next, we have criminology or criminal justice sector. A police chief addresses a crime search by analyzing data, tasking police captains to plan patrols, and ensuring administrative staff properly document all reports. So, in this one, so the problem here is there's a sudden increase in crime. So, the police chief step in to look at the data. So, the chief studies crime statistics to understand what types of crime are increasing and where are they happening. So, and also the delegates to captain will tell the police captain to make patrol plans.
Okay, reporter, I'm talking about leadership in crisis situation. So what is leadership in crisis situation? Making a quick but informed decision and adapting to new information to minimize damage and guide an organization toward a positive resolution. Then, leadership in crisis situation has two disasters response and organizational conflict, which is reported by Mr. Carolina, and I am the one for disaster response. Disaster response in decision making. Leadership must make a rapid strategic decision and adapting plans and action as the crisis is evolving to minimize negative impacts. Disaster response and provide a clear vision. Leaders offers a guiding vision and repeated it often, giving a people a sense of purpose and direction in uncertain times. Disaster response management. Guiding an organization through a high pressure, high stakes and by providing clear communication, making decisive and informed decisions, and maintaining composure to minimize disruption and ensure recovery. Next.
I am the next reporter. Organizational conflict refers to disagreement or disputes within a workplace that arise from differing goals, values, or interests among individuals or groups, significantly impacting productivity, and workplace harmony if not managed as a leader. There are some key strategies to manage conflict effectively. Number one is active listening. Leaders should listen attentively to all parties involved to understand concern and perspectives. As a leader, dapat kabalo sa maminaw kung sa mga concern sa imong mga sa subordinates. And number two, impartiality. Remaining impartial helps build trust and ensure for fair decision. As a leader, dapat unbiased ka o sa yung mga members o sa ilang mga concern to para dali masolve ang problem sa organization. And number three is conflict resolution. Leaders should work to resolve conflict promptly, focusing on finding mutually beneficial solution. So, as a leader, you dapat address conflict promptly, focusing on finding mutually beneficial solution, encourage open discussion and collaboration to solve na problem. And number four is communication. Open, transparent communication can help prevent misunderstanding and reduce tension. As a leader, dapat naka-good communication sa subordinates to dali rama solve ang problema.
Good afternoon, sir. So I'll be the last reporter. My topic is reflection. Am I a leader, manager, or administrator? So this reflection is a personal integrative exercise. The goal is to move beyond seeing these fixed titles and instead recognize them as a functions or roles as one can perform. So first is self-assessment. So conduct a self-assessment and ask yourself some questions. So first question would be, do I primarily set a vision and inspire as a leader, organize and direct resources as a manager, or handle the essentials day-to-day operations as the administrator? So the answer would be all of the above, because some individuals can do different roles. Next is contextual understanding. The reflection prompts an individual to consider that their role may change. Their role may change depending on the situation. In one scenario, they may lead by example, while in other, they must act as a strict administrator. So this means that ang rule sa individual is dili fixed, mag-change. Pwede siya mausog-usog. So, mag-usog siya, depende sa situation. So, so you could be a leader in one situation, a manager in another, and